guys, I'm back with these short videos. I was away, I had a long hiatus. Is that how you say hiatus? It's because I became blackpilled with YouTube censorship. But I'm back. If they get censored, fuck it. I don't care. They're also on Rumble. So check this out on Rumble too. But it's good to be here. And there's something in the news today about celebrities. And I usually don't discuss celebrity stories because I don't know who the fuck they are. I really want it. Like, take a look at this photo. If I saw this, I'd be like, okay, it's a dad with his daughter. And I think I've seen this dad. I think I've seen him outside of Sam's Club holding up a cardboard sign asking for money. I think I recognize this guy in Fayetteville. But see, I'd be wrong. I'd be totally wrong. That guy is actually a movie star, Jonah Hill. And I'm like, well, how old is he? He's like 39. You know, his beard's already gray. I'm like, wow. And that girl, I don't think it's his daughter. It's Sarah Brady. That's his ex-girlfriend. Well, no, I'm not shaming. You know, young women are good. But I didn't know who she was. I never heard of her. I'm like, is she a movie star? Brady, is she Tom Brady's daughter? I had no idea. Turns out she's a professional surfer. And then I didn't realize that. People surf for a living? How do you do that? I think surfing, it looks fun. I'm sure it's hard, but you just kind of flap out there and play on the waves. Is there like professional surfing the web? See, I'd be good at that. Or professional sleeping. That would be a sport I could see. Or professional watching TV or goofing off. See, a lot of these things I don't think really should be sports. Yeah, football, basketball, but surfing? Okay, anyway, she's a professional surfer, and Jonah Hill is some sort of Hollywood celebrity. And he got into trouble because of this text message. Because they broke up and, you know, she's like real vindictive. She kept his text messages and released it. And, you know, you're going to get the worst stuff they release. So let's take a look at this. And this is Jonah texting the surfer girl. Plain and simple, if you need surfing with men, boundaryless, inappropriate friendships with men. That's hard to say, boundaryless, inappropriate friendships with men, to model, to post pictures of yourself in a bathing suit, to post sexual pictures, friendships with women who are in unstable places, and from your wild recent past beyond getting lunch or coffee or something respectful, I am not the right partner for you. If these things bring to you a place of happiness, I support it, and there will be no hard feelings. These are my boundaries for romantic partnership. My boundaries with you based on the ways these actions have hurt our trust. Whoa, who the fuck talks like that? I don't know, you Hollywood type or you're elite. It's, you know, down here in the South, you just say, hey, bitch, quit your slutting around, okay? You got to clean up your ass or get the fuck out of here. Instead, they have to do, oh, we got to set the boundaries of our relationship. I hate that talk. I hate that talk. But anyway, the guy got into trouble because, oh, this is misogynistic. And I'm like, I don't see anything wrong with this, really. He's setting his expectations for his girlfriend, and he's saying, this is what I want, and if you don't do that, I'm not going to be mad at you. I'm not going to stalk you. Have a nice life, right? You know, he says this with all the bullshit words, all the therapy talk they use in Hollywood. I can't stand that type of talk, but whatever. But it's not disrespectful. Because think about this logically. And in fact, I wish I had been more like this guy early on in my life. In a lot of relationships, there's things I didn't like that a girl did, but I was, you know, you're too scared to say anything about it. And that just leads to disaster. So what was this guy supposed to do, right? I think a lot of feminists would say, well, he should just accept her hanging out with all these guys, posting sexual pictures of herself. Well, he could. But this is always going to eat him up inside because he's the type of guy that he's naturally not really a cuck. I know that's popular now, but most men, when they have a woman, they don't want her to be sexualizing it with other men. And that means more than just fucking, right? So if a woman's hanging out with other guys constantly, that can bother a lot of men. I understand that, right? And this guy is basically saying, I don't want that. And if you want to do that, that's fine. I just don't want to be a part of it. And I think that clears things up pretty quick. Because if he just tried to accept it, grinned and bear it, what would be the result? He would become very resentful. He would start to really despise her. And despite how he looks, he's, I'm sure, a millionaire and famous. I didn't know who he was, but I presume a lot of people do. So he's got a lot of options with girls. He can replace Surfer Girl like that. That's not a problem. And that's what would happen then, right? So they would have the relationship. He'd try to be like an enlightened man and tolerate his woman acting in such a manner. But then he would just get resentful. They would start to fight more. And he would use an excuse to cheat and get another girl himself. That would be the outcome. So isn't this a better outcome? Just saying, hey, here's my standards, and if you don't want to follow these standards, it's cool. It's cool. Just do your own thing. I think that really clears the air in a lot of this. And I think the problem is these feminists are saying, well, he's trying to be controlling. Well, but first of all, if this had been reversed, there'd be no one would be upset about it, right? And women, they have a right. Like, I don't want you to go to strip bars if we're in a relationship. Well, I think that's potentially appropriate, right? Because if you're a woman, you're like, I don't want my guy to go to strip bars. I don't want him to be watching pornography. I just don't want him to be going off with escorts. As some guys do. And I think it's perfectly appropriate for a woman to say, hey, if you want to do that, that's fine, but that's not what I want in a relationship, so we'll go our own ways. If a woman said that, it'd be like, yeah, you go, girl, you lay down the law. But when a guy does the same thing, it's like, oh, you misogynistic bastard. I think this is positive. I mean, he said it in a cringy way, but whatever, he's Hollywood. But I think this is perfectly fine. Now, as to should he do this behavior, it's called technically mate guarding. This is where you're insecure with your girl that she's going to fuck around with other guys. Well, the truth is, if this surfer girl wanted to cheat on Jonah, even if she did all these rules, she still would. There's just no way to stop it. There really isn't. So as a guy, you have to somewhat, I think, trust the girl you're with. Now, that doesn't mean being a cuck. So if a girl should betray your trust, yeah, that's it. You're like, fine, you're going your way then. But trying to really set up all these parameters, I think, is a fool's errand. It really doesn't make a difference. So he seems a little bit insecure that way, and that almost never works. Like, if you're always desperately trying to hang on to a girl, and I'm so scared some other man's going to get her, well, she's going to go. She's going to go. She's going to pick up on that. But if you have a vibe like, hey, I trust you. If you violate the trust, there's the door, but I'm not going to sit around and worrying about it. And as I got older, that's my philosophy now. I don't really get in all these rules and regulations. But having said that, there's nothing wrong if some guys want to have that. And it could be, male or female, whatever your rules are. You could have a rule, for example, I don't want you to get fat. I don't find that attractive. If you get fat, then that's going to be the end of our relationship. People can say, oh, how misogynist. Well, but it's making things clear, right? So if you don't want to be with a guy like that, then you're not going to waste your time with that. But if you want to be with him, you understand what his needs are, and you're going to respect it. And again, it works both ways. So I know the media made a big to-do that, oh, he's so misogynistic, but I don't really see this as a big issue, Jonah. So I guess they broke up, but don't worry about Jonah. I'm sure he's got another girlfriend already. And so I'm sure Surfer Girl's got another boyfriend. Talk to you guys later.